Here are 5 important things you should do to be prepared for retirement. So you should consider the cost of healthcare. You should eliminate debt. You should understand your Social Security benefits. You should consider what you plan to actually do in retirement. And you should actually get a financial plan done for retirement. So number 5, you should consider the cost of healthcare, Jason. One of the biggest issues that, our retiring segment of the population has is the cost of healthcare. It's huge, especially as you get older, you need more healthcare typically. Okay, so the issue is that healthcare is very expensive and keeps getting more expensive. If you retire before 65, the premium for one person can be as much as $18,000, okay, a year. Okay, so that's expensive. That's a lot of money. So think of that if you're a married couple. Okay, you're spending a couple $1,000s, until you hit that age of 65, just to make sure you have healthcare coverage. Okay, that's not expenses after the premiums. Okay, then you also have to consider the fact that when you do hit 65, okay, there's Medicare. Okay, you qualify for Medicare, but even if you do qualify, usually it's not completely free. Okay, there's some considerations, and you should make sure you talk to an insurance person or a financial planner to talk about what might it cost, maybe as different types of Medicare plans, BED, all optional stuff, Advantage. So you're gonna spend several $100s a month just even after 65 for healthcare costs.
Number 4, eliminate debt. All right, so imagine if you have 2 different types of budgets. One, you have a mortgage and a car payment, okay? And so if you look at that on this budget here, you have a mortgage payment of around $2,600 and you have a car payment of around $400, which if you total up all the different budget items is close to $10,000. Now think about having to fund a $10,000 monthly expense in retirement. Your portfolio needs to be a lot larger and you have to have a lot more savings to be able to fund that amount of living expenses on a monthly basis. Now, let's take another example where what if we paid off that mortgage and what if we paid off that car? You just reduced your expenses by $3,000. Now, obviously, you also use some assets to do that, but that's where you would run an analysis to see, okay, well, now I only have to fund $7,000 approximately in retirement, and you don't need as large of a portfolio to do that, and your risk isn't as high because your expenses are lower.
That's right. And speaking of funding retirement, I mean, a lot of retirement is funded typically by your portfolio. You might have a pension, but a lot of retirement is also funded partially by Social Security. And that takes us to number 3. Make sure you understand your Social Security benefits. And this is tough because besides the whole thing out there, Social Security is going to be around the long term. We can't control that right now. But assuming it is, how you take Social Security could have an impact on the longevity of your portfolio and your lifestyle in retirement. So you really want to understand, do I take it at 62? Do I take it at 67? Do I take it at 70? If you're married, how do you take that as spousal benefit, etc.? Okay, there's a lot, and we're going to do a whole video on Social Security. And again, if this video is helping, we always encourage you to subscribe below so that you can get notifications of future videos. But to know what your Social Security benefits would look like, we recommend that you go to the website, the Social Security website, which is here on the screen below, ssa.gov. And also make sure that you understand the different strategies, because one, you'll see your benefit on the website, but then understand the different strategies of timing and the spousal benefits herein.
Number 2, consider what you would like to do in retirement. So think about this as the other retirement plan. And when we think about retiring, instead of thinking about I'm going to retire from something, think about it from the perspective of what am I going to retire to? Okay, so the whole point of this is, and we did a whole video on never retiring and what that looks like, but we find that a lot of people just get bored in retirement. They maybe have a year where they really enjoy, they get to travel, they get to do the things they like, but they feel like they lack purpose. And we've just seen a lot of people go back to work afterwards. But if you think about it, what am I retiring to? Think about what you've always loved to do in terms of making a difference in this world, and then think about what that would look like. But start to have an idea of that before you actually retire.
That's right. And number 1, most importantly, you talked about the other retirement plan, which is your plan for once you're in retirement. It's the plan before your retirement. And we always recommend, and we're biased because we're financial planners, but get a financial plan done. There's so many considerations. This is a big step in everyone's life, right? So you want to make sure you don't leave anything up to chance and fate, or minimize the things that you can control by make sure you consider the things you can control. Okay, so This will involve doing a Monte Carlo simulation analysis, which we have another video we'll refer you to on that, okay? Looking at the different models, the different choices that you may want to make, like buying another house once you're retired for a vacation, taking extra vacations. All those considerations happen when you actually do a financial plan, and it allows you to really get ahead of the curve when it comes to taking control of the decisions that you can determine are important for you, such as traveling, buying other assets, spending time with your family, giving time to charity, when I retire, how much I'm going to spend. All that happens in a financial plan. So we hope this helps, and we hope to see you soon.